them so you can see my bird chest and my toothpick arms. I also tried to intentionally deepen my voice so I could impress some of the young ladies at the high school. I also would walk around and try to talk a little different, be a little more cool. I wasn't in a rush to do much. I thought I was cool. I also, at that time, I've never had much facial hair, but I had about 3 strands on my chin, and I kept them very well groomed. I was becoming a man. I thought I was the stuff. I thought I had it all together. You couldn't tell me nothing, until one day. We were getting ready for church, and my father is a pastor, so he got to the church a little earlier than we did, and my mother came in my room. And my mother sees what I've decided to put on. I wanted to look cool, and she suggests to me, Jalen, I think you ought to change. I didn't like her suggestion, so I followed up with, Ma, I'm a grown man. I can wear what I want to wear. Yeah, y'all understand. Surprisingly, she quietly backed out of the room and left. I kept on what I like to keep on, and we went to church. When we got to church, unbeknownst to me, she immediately went to my father. Now, my father carried on like nothing happened until we got home. When we got home, because we are live streaming, I don't want to share the details, but let's just say my toothpick arms and my bird chest were no match for Pastor Jalen Seawright. I involuntarily went to and fro all across that house. After going to and fro, he instructed me to go upstairs as he handed me a pack of black garbage bags. He said, put all your clothes in that garbage bag and get out my house. So I went upstairs and packed my clothes into that garbage bag, and my toothpick arms could not carry them down the stairs, so I kind of just dragged them down, but I wanted to keep my pride intact. I got them all to the bottom of the stairs, and he looks at me and he says to me, you are one sorry grown man. He says, you use my water, you use my electricity, you eat my food, you use my gas when you go back and forth to school and things like that. You're on my health insurance, my dental insurance, my vision insurance. If that's a grown man, that's pretty sorry. And I just looked at him, and he says to me, go ahead and take your bags back upstairs. I'm just trying to teach you a lesson. I began to grab the bags, and if you met my father, he's a very quiet, still person, but you don't mess with him. He leans down in my face, and he says, but if you ever talk to my wife like that again, you'll be one dead grown man. At that point in time, I'd never talked to his wife like that again. To this day, I have nothing but respect for my mother. Now, why do I tell that story? I tell that story simply because at some point in our lives, we all have this moment with God where we begin to accomplish, we begin to grow, we begin to achieve, and for some reason, we get to the point where we believe we can do bad all by ourselves. We get to a point where we think all these things that we have achieved and done makes us strong enough and capable enough to accomplish what we believe to be God's mission in the world. Are you with me this morning? We get to a point where we think we're wise enough and smart enough that when God makes a suggestion, our response is, I'm grown. And then God has to come into our lives and humble us. And humble us. Like my biological father, our heavenly Father don't play.